Ping just introduced some brand new woods and hybrids, so I'm interested to talk about those. They haven't released anything since early 2019, which is not normal for some of these OEMs. So I'm excited to try some of these out. They look really cool, but let's talk about how some of these are much improved over previous models. First, let's talk about the face wrap technology. So it's a thin, high-strength miraging steel face that extends from the crown, and it actually goes up all the way through the club face itself and goes down into the sole. So it's not just a weld that's just holding the club face on as a separate piece, but it's actually a larger part of the club head. That really helps for some faster ball speeds and some higher launching shots. Let's talk about spin consistency. The idea is that with the roll of the club face, that is the angle from the top all the way down, how that actually changes loft relative to where you are on the face. So while this might have 14.5 degrees of loft right in the center of the club, it has a touch more, a degree or two more as you creep up the face. But most importantly, whenever you hit low shots on the face, those tend to fly low and spin a lot. So you need less loft on that point of the club than you do just in the center. So they've decreased the amount of loft on the lower third of the club by about 2.5 degrees relative to the center of the face. So that will help you carry those farther on shots hit low on the face and keep the spin rate about the same. High MOI, these things are super easy to align. They've got 3 dots on the top of the club, which makes it pretty easy to see where the club face is pointed and gives you a good visual cue to address the ball really well. The Arcos Caddy Smart Grip, which I think is interesting on a really light Tour Velvet grip, certainly gives you a chance to track your game and see how you improve on the course. So with that in mind, I'm curious to have my friend Dave hit a few of these because he's a longtime Ping loyalist, and these look a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. I think most notably is the lack of turbulators that are on the top of the club. They use those for the driver. That's the curves and the ridges that are in the driver to help you increase the speed by making the club more aerodynamic. With a fairway wood and a hybrid, that becomes significantly less important, and it looks like they've gone away with that. Still has the cool black matte finish that I really like on driver in particular, and a nice little two-tone counterbalance shaft that they've changed the look of. I think looks really nice with the head shaft combo. Let's see if Dave agrees. Hey, you just missed it. I almost broke these clubs, but let's go ahead and hit some.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Spin consistency.
Spin consistency. I'm gonna try to not test that out by hitting this in the middle of the club face.
Dave, I got to tell you, that's like the least useful part of a club to me, quite honestly. I get the idea of decreasing and increasing the loft relative to the center of the face. Everyone's been doing that for a while. And you just told me you couldn't hit a hybrid. Here you go.
It's all downhill from there. That was hit pretty well.
A little in the heel, right?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
it felt pretty good.
We'll just aim it slightly in the heel. That's still where the center of gravity is on all of these if you want to reduce some draw. So we were talking about that spin consistency. Such an easy word to say. I'm sure the club designers at Ping are hating the marketing guys for this, but it's the difference between the top and the bottom of the club and the actual loft. That's always been changed. That's called roll. It's nothing new in golf, but it has been coined now as a term that's somewhat significant. But more importantly, how do you like the look of that hybrid?
Very clean.
Put it on the ground.
Yeah, I do like the look of it. Very clean. I've always liked, since I play Ping, I've always liked the matte finish. I think that looks just looks really, really good to the eye. So I already know I'm gonna miss the turbulators, I feel like, when I get to the fairway wood, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm not joking. Dave did mention how much he dislikes hybrids. But
I did.
So far, he is 2 for 2 on hitting these both pretty solid. That one didn't draw as much.
I was gonna say, look at me not drawing it though.
Yeah, there's the advantage of aiming hybrids slightly into the heel of the club is a tremendous use of your knowledge base, really, to help you reduce the amount the ball curves because of the gear effect that we've covered ad nauseum here.
You know what I like about the toe though is that there's no hosel.
You know what I like about hybrids? There's no hosel for you, Dave. You should work out okay. Same thing. Aim this one slightly towards the heel, and then we'll look at the
heel.
So for you, as a guy who doesn't want to draw it too much, that's really nice. That's a good way to practice. That might not be your most useful shot, but it's good to understand how that works.
Yep.
So checking out these launch conditions, I think this one's pretty interesting for what you're looking at. Ball speed 145. That's pretty fast for a hybrid. Your driver, most of those shots was around the 159, 160 range. Backspin 35-56, that could go up a touch. So either those are slightly mishit, or I would probably try to maybe add a degree or two of loft even to something like that if you want to hold a green. Launch angle is a touch low, and then that angle of descent at 36. This would be really good for you on like a second shot into a par 5, or maybe you had to bounce it up or just get it near the green. I wouldn't say this club is probably your best to land a ball on the green. For that, you'd want to have a descent angle that's closer to the 45 range. So you got another 9 to go. You're actually not even on the chart for that. But if you want to hit that off the tee, rolled up on a par 5, something like that, that's pretty cool.
Mostly where I've used clubs like this, whether it's, you know, a hybrid or a high lofted fairway wood or a, you know, driving iron type thing. So
that one's really good. How about this one for the fairway wood?
Here we go.
Relative to your performance, I think with how you've hit hybrids in the past, that was exceptional. I think these look great. Tungsten weight, the wraparound technology that we talked about before, just is telling you that there's no real seam that is just wrapped around the face and it's welded on. It actually wraps over the top of the driver, over the crown, and over the sole. So should have some stronger connections to the face, faster ball speeds.
So this one definitely looks good. My initial reaction when I saw it moments before getting on camera was that I felt like I was going to miss the turbulators. My current fairway wood has turbulators. And obviously looks a lot like the driver, but this one, as I keep looking at it, super clean look. Love the matte black again. So I think I could get used to this one for sure.
How was that hit?
Felt a little toey, but
okay,
not bad. Little push. So hit it clean.
Yeah, hit it closer to the middle. That's better.
Yep.
That sounded pretty good. How would you rate that hit, 1 to 10?
Not bad. I could feel a little on the toe again, but cleaner top to bottom.
9-ish?
Sure.
Okay, sure. Sure, he says. Let's take a look at that one. Ball speed goes up 7 miles an hour. That's what you'd expect from a longer club. Less loft, and then the face is made to bounce off much faster. It's made for faster ball speeds. Backspin rate's a touch higher. Launch angle around 10. That's still a little bit low, but not bad for a fairway wood either. And then your angle of descent at 35 degrees is about what I'd expect for a 3-wood. And that carried 261. So I would think you could probably get a 10 out of 10 hit, and the distance, unlike the hybrid of 252, 261, you'll probably get that into the range of 265, 270.
Yep.
Which then gives you a good gap between that 19-degree fairway or hybrid and the 15-degree, 14.5-degree fairway wood here. So you like the look of it?
I do.
Performed pretty good. I know we only hit a shot or two, but that's the beauty of TV. You don't need to have that many shots.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that one in play along with my LST
right.
driver that I'm about to get.
All this new stuff from Ping. So if you are interested in this new Ping stuff, get fit. Don't just buy it off the rack. You're doing yourself a major disservice. Club fitting is like really one of the least expensive, positive things you can do for yourself and your golf game to have more fun. And it keeps Dave from putting this in his garage and collecting dust and selling it on eBay in a year, which everybody should be cognizant about. So you need to get fit by someone who does this for a living and helps people play better golf in general. They don't just fit clubs and get paid for that. That isn't the right way to go about buying new golf clubs either. But you do that at your local GOLFTEC.
That's what I've heard.
That's the idea, yeah. So if you want to try any of these new clubs, check them out at GOLFTEC. And then for any help with any part of your game, that's the place to go.